June the 6th, 1944. The most ambitious military operation in history. The target, to liberate Europe from Nazi rule. On this day, American paratrooper Bill Tucker makes the most important drop of his life. British commando Cliff Morris lands in Normandy on Sword Beach. Canadian Lieutenant Glenn Dicken hits the sand on Juno Beach. Their actions, along with 150,000 others, will determine victory or defeat. Their fate will dictate Europe's fate. In Britain, a double agent codenamed Garbo must continue to confuse the Germans about the Allies' real intentions. Also in Britain, the commanders can only wait. They know the outcome rests on a knife edge. In France, André Heinz and Sonia D'Artois wait too. They are working with the resistance inland from the Normandy beaches. Nothing on such a scale has been attempted before or since. This is the story of the 10 days to D-Day and the day itself, told through the eyes of 10 ordinary people whose actions shaped extraordinary events. When D-Day began, the outcome was far from certain. Countless things could go wrong. To convey more than 150,000 men across 100 miles of sea and land them on heavily defended beaches, or to fly them behind enemy lines, was a hugely difficult and risky enterprise. It was individuals who held the outcome in their hands. The soldiers in the firing line tipped the balance on the battlefield, while their commanders hoped and prayed. There were spies and saboteurs thwarting the German war effort, agents who duped the Nazis about the time and place of the invasion, and even backroom planners predicting that most fickle of all things, the British weather. Sunday, May 28, 1944. All over Britain, tens of thousands of troops who will spearhead the D-Day landings are on the move. Their job is to lead the way for the invasion force. Sussex, England, 7 a.m. Among them is British Commando Cliff Morris. He is highly trained but untried in combat. His unit must secure the beachhead, or the next wave of men will die.
May 28, 1944. Once again we leave from Brighton, this time assembling at Hove Station in the early hours of the morning. Somehow, everyone senses that this time we will not be returning. The whole affair is organised and run by Yanks and seems very good, with the food being excellent. We are being fattened up for the kill.
It was always a day's work, really. I think we trained up to that sort of level. Obviously we expected to lose some members of the party, but it would never be you. It would never be that you would think it would be you. You would come through it.
Another soldier who in 10 days will see action for the first time is Glenn Dicken, a Canadian farm boy. He has never been away from home before. He misses his family and writes to them most weeks. He tells them that all leave for all ranks has just been cancelled. He doesn't know it yet, but his regiment, the Regina Rifles, will suffer many casualties as the men land on the French coast.
Can I get 2 beers, please?
The D-Day command center that will send Cliff Morris and Glenn Dicken into battle is a secret underground military complex on England's south coast. Here, the final stages of planning are now underway. Admiral Sir Bertram Ramsay is the naval commander for the Allied invasion force. Portsmouth, England, 10 a.m.
Sunday, May the 28th.
got the staff busy working out the times by which the forces must be told of changes in D-Day, and consequently the days and hours at which the commanders-in-chief must meet in order to decide these questions.
Ramsay's job is to oversee and send into action the largest armada of ships and men the world has ever seen. The British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, is Ramsay's ultimate boss. Today he is at Chequers, his country retreat. For 2 years, Churchill has worried that D-Day will end in failure. His private fear is that the British soldier, when confronted by his German counterpart, will lose. But the German soldier is no longer everything Churchill fears. Their own commanders have failed them. While many crack units remain, others have had too long in France with too little to do. Nantes, France, 11 a.m. One such soldier is Walter Schwender. He works in an army repair shop. He has no idea of what's brewing in England, nor that he will be in the first line of defense once the invasion sweeps through France.
Ihr Lieben,
Sunday, 28th of May. Dear all, as I have just got use of a typewriter, I don't want to miss the opportunity. And so, I am writing you a letter. The typewriter is actually with us for repairs, and it also has to be tried out, of course.
Na, Stefan? Ah, frische Limonade. Peter? Dankeschön. Das Wetter hier in Witze.
Today at Whitsun, we have marvelous weather here again. I was going to have some wine to drink now, but it doesn't taste that good in this heat. It's really better to stick to lemonade. Oh well, I hope that this will all be over soon. Lots of love to everyone. Walter.
Goldway!
Hampshire, England, 6 p.m.
Leipzig! Leipzig!
Unlike Walter Schwender, Cliff Morris is ready for battle.
Donald!
Number 6 Commando is under strict orders to remain in camp. Secrecy is everything. Nothing must be said to put the invasion at risk. Suddenly, there's a crisis.
Sir!
3 of the camp staff soon tire of this confinement and jump it. They miss out on the evening roll call which everyone has to answer.
Young!
A net is immediately thrown over the locality and a search made.
Goldsworthy!
The missing men are found in a beer house, which is packed out. This is immediately closed, and customers, proprietors, and deserters are thrown into jail. Likewise, a woman merely talking through the wire to her husband is roped in. On several occasions, the Yankee guards, who are armed with 2.2 rifles, open fire at civvies loitering near the wire. No chances whatsoever are being taken.
At 10 p.m., Sonia D'Artois, a British secret agent, arrives at an English airfield.
We were searched to see that we didn't have any compromising English cigarettes or chocolate bars or whatever with us. And then we were given our jump clothing to wear over our regular clothing. And when it was time, we were just escorted to the plane and said goodbye to everybody, and on we got.
On you go.
20-year-old Sonia is British, but was raised in the south of France. She speaks perfect French, which is why she has been chosen to parachute into enemy terrain. 3 months earlier, Sonia was in the typing pool. Now, she is on her way to France to work as a courier, relaying messages between resistance networks. Her mission is to help the French play their own vital role in the liberation of their country. If her cover is blown, Sonia will be executed.
The cause that you're working for or fighting for, if you want to put it that way, that's the most important thing. So you're able to overcome your fear. If you believe in something, you do.
Monday, May 29th, 1944, 8 days to D-Day. General Dwight D. Eisenhower is Supreme Allied Commander. He is in overall charge of the D-Day landings. It will be his job to give the go-ahead for the invasion. If he gets it wrong, hundreds of thousands of lives will be at risk. Supreme Allied HQ, England, 8 a.m. This morning at his headquarters near the South Coast, Eisenhower perfects his golf swing, chain smokes, and thinks about his family back home.
As the pressure mounts and the strain increases, everyone begins to show weaknesses in his makeup. It's up to the commander to conceal his. Above all, to conceal doubt, fear, and distrust.
Leicestershire, England, 8:30 a.m. While Eisenhower takes the strain, American soldiers of the 82nd Airborne Division leave the village of Quorn in the English Midlands. Everyone knows that the Allies are soon to invade German-occupied Europe, but no one knows exactly where or when it will happen. Private Bill Tucker from Boston, Massachusetts, joined up 1 year earlier when he was 20. A few days before, he and his comrades were summoned by their commanding officer, General Matthew Ridgway.
We all assembled, and, his voice was very powerful. There wasn't a sound, when he spoke.
You men are to take part in a tremendous act in the history of mankind. You may not realize that at this time, but you will realize it in time to come. You will be among the first few soldiers landing in the greatest invasion of history. Some of us will die.
It had a lot to do with that sense of mission and freedom of the mind, not being concerned about the physical aspects of the parachute jump. And, the inspiration of Ridgway made a lot of difference.
And you will remember for the rest of your lives your role in this necessary, most noble, and historic